So first of all, everybody who has joined, thank you so much. And so I'll quickly go over what is the agenda for today's discussion. Also, today is primarily going to be Vijay telling us about his story of how he got his money back after the whole Sensex glitch. But essentially, the agenda for today is overall in broking within the last 3 months itself. I think I would have shared from every single known broker some kind of tech issue or the other, where you're not able to see your positions, or your MIS positions you're not able to square off, or you're trying to exit but there is some or the other issue. And overall there's a complete lack of accountability, and most of us have even given up. We have just said, okay, this is business. Broker says you have signed the IBT, which means that you have no way out. Even if it is their mistake, you have to take the loss. But this is a very good case in which someone had the willpower to really fight, and he put in over a month and a half work. In fact, the hearing that he had with BSC was 4 hours long, with the committee and the chairwoman, and finally he managed to get his money back. So he will give us an idea of what is the process that you have to follow. Secondly, couple of responses to the Zerodha post that came up. Whole bunch of people are talking about like what a leased line is and how dedicated lines work. I also understand how dedicated lines work, but here's my point. Right off the bat, it was overloaded. It is stated clearly in that minutes of the meeting that officials of BSC informed them on the 30th that it got overloaded. They requested for an increase of bandwidth, right? So even though it is a dedicated line, it wasn't good enough. That's the point. And despite it not being good enough, the same thing was allowed to run on the next expiry. And my way of looking at it is, it's not just Zerodha, it's the attitude of all brokers, where they feel that I don't really care, you know. And I feel there's an overall atmosphere where brokers feel they're like a social media company like Twitter or Instagram, and forget that they are financial institutions. Anyway, I don't want to go too much onto this today. I'll be passing it on to Vijay. Vijay will give her. Vijay, please take your time, get into all the specifics, all the details. Vijay is also going to be quoting from some documents. All those documents will be on a Google Drive. These are the documents that he used to put forward his argument, and the yeah, that will be provided to you. So first of all, Vijay, thank you so much for doing this, and it's a big favor that you're doing to the entire community. So I'll pass it on to you, bro, and you can just walk us through everything that happened.
Thank you very much, Shreyas, and thank you very much for organizing this space and giving me this opportunity to uh, tell about my experience. And I hope the experience which I'm going to share will be helpful to the trading community. And there might be a lot of people who incurred losses on 7th July and 30th June, during which this glitch happened. And maybe after listening to this, they can put up their case and fight it out with Zerodha through the means provided. Okay, so I will start with what happened on 7th July. I placed a very small order. So I will be very clear with everything. I will give all the data and everything. I have figures and everything. So I have nothing to hide here. So it was just a small quantity, 500 quantities of. I was doing a strangle. So I hope all the traders have joined here, so they know what a strangle is. So I was doing a simple strangle, and the strike price which I sold on the put side was 65,300 put, and I sold it at 20 rupees. So what happened was, the price was, there was a good decay, and the put was trading at around 3 rupees when I wanted to square off my position. So I tried to place buy order, but as everyone knows, the orders did not go through on that day because of this particular error which said that, what was it showing? It okay.
Adapter issue, I
Adapter,
believe.
yeah, adapter connection issue. So I was unable to square off my position at 3 rupees. So I kept on trying. It did not happen, and the market kept on falling. So it was a panic kind of situation. So thankfully my mind worked at that point of time. Somehow I recorded everything, that I was trying to punch orders and I was getting this error message and the order was not going through. So I recorded everything. I took a lot of screenshots of my order book where this error message was coming. So on that day, this issue was not resolved till the close of the market, and finally the price was settled at 19.5 rupees. So my contention was that it should have squared off at 3 rupees. So the difference between 3 rupees and 19 rupees, that is 16 rupees, multiplied by 500 rupees, which is around 8,000 something rupees. This was the loss which I incurred because the software, the Zerodha, was not able to because my orders were not able to go through Zerodha. So my point was that this was not my mistake. This was the fault of the broker. I punched my orders, my system was working, my internet was working. It was the issue at the broker's end. So I could have let it go on because it is a small amount. It is less than 0.2% of the capital on which I was trading. But then I started thinking in a way that uh, what if the market did not close at 19 rupees? What if the market kept on falling down? And what if the market had closed at 1000 rupees, that particular strike price? What if it had closed at 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees? My account would have been wiped out. So I thought I should try and put my case with Zerodha, and I should request them to refund my money, refund this loss amount which I incurred, because this was not my mistake, it was Zerodha's error. So what I did was, there is a option on Zerodha to raise a ticket. There is a support. There is a drop down menu on the Zerodha app. When you click on support, it opens a lot of options, a lot of questions which are answered there. So if you don't find answer to your question, you can raise a ticket there. So I raised a ticket there. I wrote down everything, that this is the situation, this happened, and this is the loss which I incurred. So kindly refund this amount to me. I wrote down all the calculation, and I attached the screenshots which I had taken. So the reply of Zerodha was very plain kind of reply. I mean, I didn't think uh, they didn't think about what. Sorry, I'm getting a little lost here.
Basically, they give you the standard
Yeah,
automated IBT.
they gave me a standard reply, which they give on most of these kind of cases, that this is that, yeah, what is that document, that we have already signed a document with all the users that we are not responsible for any internet connection issues or something. So they wrote that point. So I could have it could have stopped there. Usually it stops there. I think a lot of people stop there, that okay, they have refused it, so we will not get our money back. So I thought, let's try it out. So because if I'm not able to recover this small amount of 8,000 rupees today, I will not be able to recover 8 lakhs or 8 crores or whatever. If there is a big loss also, I will not be able to recover it. So I tried to fight this case out. So I sent a reply back to Zerodha, and I wrote that I do not agree with what you have said. The document which you get signed by all the users who sign up on Zerodha, that document is a one-sided document. You have prepared that document yourself, and the users do not have any choice. They do not have any saying in that document, and we compulsorily have to sign that document. So that document.
Vijay, 1 second, just please hold on. I believe there are a lot of messages saying that they're not able to hear you. Ashish bhai, can you confirm if I'm audible and Vijay is audible?
Yeah, it's completely fine for me.
Is that so? Okay, because there are many messages. Yeah, sorry for
No,
cutting
no,
you
no.
off, bro. Please
It's
continue.
I
so
think UC also is giving thumbs up, so I think voice is clear. Probably those who are not able to hear him properly can just try reconnecting once.
okay.
Yeah, please go on,
Yes.
Vijay.
So I wrote a reply and I explained my point that on the basis of that document which we sign when we sign up for any company, uh, it cannot be binding because it's one-sided in all the cases. And so I sent that reply to Zerodha. Then Zerodha gave me another reply which said that no, this and that, we cannot refund you this money. Again, I put forth my point and send a reply again. So this thing continued for around 1 to 2 weeks. Then I got it that this is not the way this issue is going to be solved. Then I searched on internet that what is the next step if there is some disagreement with broker on an issue. Then I found out that there is a website scores.gov.in on which we can raise complaint against a broker. So I went to that website and there is an option of creating an account there. Anybody can create an account there. So I created an account. So then you select which who is the exchange against whom you have the issue. So I selected BSC and then there is a column in which you write down your complaint. So I did all those things and I submitted my complaint on scores.gov.in. So immediately I received a message from the scores that we have received your complaint and we will take up with the broker. So what they did was they sent my complaint to Zerodha. Zerodha submitted a reply to scores. Oh, sorry. There's a mistake. They submitted my complaint to BSC. Then BSC sent my complaint to Zerodha. So now BSC was between me and Zerodha. BSC was kind of coordinating. So my complaint was sent to BSC. BSC forwarded it to Zerodha. Zerodha gave a reply to BSC, and BSC would forward that reply to me. So the thing which was
So basically, they were mediating the resolution. This
yes,
thing.
they were mediating basically. So
And so far, just so everyone is on the thing, first thing you did was you ensured you recorded everything. You took photos, you took videos of the orders not going through. Then you argued that the agreement, the IBT that every broker puts forward, which says it's not my problem, you said that is one sided. I do not agree with that agreement, even if I have signed on it. And secondly, you went to Scores, which is SEBI's this portal, which has pushed it to the exchange. And now they are mediating it, right? So this is so far.
yes, exactly, Shes. Thanks for putting it up nicely. So they were mediating, and the thing which was happening between me and Zerodha earlier, it was just that the same thing was repeating, but this time it was being mediated by BSC. And in between this story, I should bring up a very important judgment given by High Court in 2010, which I somehow found on the internet. So I was searching on Google. It was a simple search. It started with a simple Google search. I searched that in case of a technical glitch, can brokers be held liable? So I was searching various links which popped up, and then there was this article in, I think it was in Hindu or somewhere, that some Vivek Sharma has won a case in High Court against Reliance Securities. He was not able to punch his orders due to technical glitch with Reliance. So I again searched on Google and I got my hands on this judgment of High Court. And this case is basically, you can say, the thing which happened on that day. This case is almost 99% similar to this 2010 judgment. So I'll walk you through some of the points of this judgment. There was this person Vivek Sharma. So he fought a case against Reliance Securities in High Court. And what was his complaint? His complaint was deficiency in services by Reliance Security. So this is the same case which happened on 7th July. It was deficiency in services because the service provider was not able to provide us service. Zerodha provides us services, right? It facilitates our order on BSC or NSC,
Correct.
whatever it is. So it was not able to provide us services. And that guy, Vivek Sharma, was also getting these kind of messages in process. Market is closed, order rejected as no response from bank. I'm reading all of this from the judgment of High Court.
By the way, the judgment of High Court is available in the link that I have shared in my earlier tweet. In the same Google Drive, I have uploaded that High Court judgment. So whatever Vijay is speaking about, you can take out that judgment at leisure and go through and cross-reference.
So I will request everyone to go through this judgment. This is very interesting judgment, and I will read some of the points of this judgment. So this judge observed that the ultimate onus of having adequate system capacity installed primarily lies with the stockbrokers and their companies. Deficiencies in services which were faced by respondent number 1 were apparently a result of deficiency in services capacity of objector company, and as such, company cannot distance itself from the consequences. Then there is another point. The financial losses suffered by the respondent number 1, who is this Vivek Sharma, being a client of the objector company, which are attributable to the system failure, cannot be regarded as notional losses. So this is also an interesting point. So in lot of replies, Zerodha wrote that this is a notional loss. You did not actually incur any loss because you sold at 20 rupees and the price was settled at 19 rupees. So this is a notional loss.
Opportunity loss, I believe, Vijay.
Yes, opportunity loss. Yes, some places I think they wrote it as opportunity loss, and they were also referring to it as notional loss when I had a call with them. So this is what they were saying, that you did not actually incur a loss because they were comparing it with 20 rupees price at which I sold it, not with the 3 rupee at which I wanted to buy it. So in this case, the court has also observed that these cases cannot be regarded as notional losses. Then there is one more point here. If delayed execution of an order result in ascertainable financial loss, then it is only the stockbroker who has to account for such losses. So it is clearly written in this judgment. ऐसे cases में stock broker ही होगा who has to take the losses. And फिर उसको कैसे fight out कर रहे थे उस case को Reliance Securities that that Vivek Sharma had punched too many orders. Suppose in your case, if you tried to buy your option at 3 rupees, it did not go through. Obviously, you will try again, so that order actually happens. When you are in panic, you will try to punch order again and again until it executes. So this point was also raised in the court, and the court said that obviously that guy will try to put orders again and again when your system is not working. So you cannot fight out this point out. Then there is one more thing. Zerodha here referred that in this particular case, Mr. Nitin Kamath put out a tweet that it is because of their vendor. There is some vendor who provide them services. OMS, I don't know what, OEM, something like that. OMS vendor.
Refinitiv provides order management services to Zerodha.
Yes, so they said that we talked to that vendor and it is sorted out, the service has been sorted. So this point was also there. So Reliance Securities at that point of time said that it is not our fault, it is the fault of the bank because that bank was not able to update the balance in the account. So it showed as insufficient balance at that time. So this point was also raised in the court, and see what the judge has observed. You have specific banks with whom you have bipartite and tripartite agreements. So the respondent cannot be blamed for system failure either of the broker company or of the bank. So अगर broker के कोई third party के साथ अगर कोई linkages भी हैं और उसकी वजह से कोई issue आ रहा है, even in that case, the broker and that third party or the vendor of the broker, they will be held liable. किसी भी केस में जो क्लाइंट है, जो ट्रेडर्स हैं, उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होगी. So ये जजमेंट पढ़ने के बाद I got a little confidence that what I'm doing, what I'm fighting for is the right thing to do, and I carried on with my case. And in my replies from thereafter, I started quoting the judgment of the High Court also, and I started quoting all these points. तो इसको तो जब जीरोदा का इसके ऊपर रिप्लाई आता था, जीरोदा completely ignored my reference to the High Court judgment. And I specifically started poking them on this point कि you should write down your reply. What do you think about these points? These have been observed by High Court. And in practice, whatever High Court or Supreme Court pronounces as a judgment, they become law of the land. उसको follow करना पड़ेगा सभी को. तो आप इसको counter specific in points को you should counter them. They are like almost similar to my case. But Zerodha kept on ignoring this, and they were fighting on that point कि हमने बस starting में आपसे agreement sign करवा लिया था, ये हमारी गलती नहीं है. Then what was the next step? BSC arranged a conference call between me and a representative from Zerodha. तो वो conference call हुई, उसमें भी Zerodha simply refused that we are not going to give any money. उसमें BSC ने ये भी बोला कि you should reach a settlement price. आप इनको 50% दे दीजिए जो लॉस हुआ था, 60% दे दीजिए and settle this case. But Zerodha was very adamant. Zerodha said that we are not going to give a single pie to this person because if we give some money, then this will become a precedence और फिर हमारे पास जब ये दोबारा होगा तो दोबारा ये आ जाएंगे पैसे claim करने. Then I said that obviously अगर आपकी गलती से if I am incurring a loss due to your mistake, I will again come to you. Even if this thing happened 1,000 times, I will come back to you 1,000 times. What is the point in this? So that call again, no solution was reached. Then the representative from BSC told me that इसके बाद एक next step होता है. We will raise this complaint to the next level, which is we will conduct a meeting of grievance redressal committee. So इसका next step होता है grievance redressal committee होती है एक, उसमें it is a very formal kind of meeting. उसका एक chairman बिठाया जाता है, 4-5 लोग होते हैं उस meeting में, BSC के representative होते हैं जो, और then the complainant, which is me, I was there, and a representative from Zerodha was there. So it was a very formal kind of setup. और एक कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम है बीएससी का जिसमें ये मीटिंग कंडक्ट की गई थी. आई एंड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ जीरोधा अटेंडेड इट थ्रू कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल. सो इसमें प्रॉपर एक डेकोरम मेंटेन हो रहा था. एंड इसके रूल्स एक्सेट्रा हमें पहले बता दिए गए थे कि व्हेन द चेयरमैन स्पीक्स नोबडी एल्स स्पीक्स, and when your turn comes only then you will speak. So it was a very organized kind of meeting. So
basically it's almost like a court hearing process. It's a very formal, a GRC meeting has a committee and has a chairperson. It is almost like a court hearing, right? Is that correct?
Yes, it is very formal and very organized kind of meeting. So when they were asking me to speak, I was speaking my points, and when they asked the representative of Zerodha to speak, then only that representative was speaking. So I had this High Court order in my hand. I raised all these points which I have told you just now, and then on the point on which Zerodha was fighting, that the user has signed that document with us that in case of any internet issue, we are not going to be held liable. So again, I defended it with my point that it is a one-sided document, and even High Court has given this judgment. So that agreement between Zerodha and me doesn't make any sense when High Court has given a judgment that in these kind of cases brokers are to be held liable. So this meeting actually went on for 4 hours. Zerodha won't budge, I didn't budge. I kept on making my points. तो Zerodha जो points बोलता मैं उसको लिखता, उसका reply meanwhile बनाता रहता. When my turn came, I gave those replies on these points which I have discussed right now. And the chairman of the committee was, conducted it very nicely. उन्होंने details जानने की कोशिश की और जिन पॉइंट्स को मैं सोच नहीं पा रहा था उस टाइम, द चेयरमैन आस्क्ड those points from Zerodha, that why actually what was the reason for this thing to happen and what steps have you taken to do this. So I should bring out one point here. मीटिंग में क्या होता है कि अपना पॉइंट सही साबित करने के लिए कोई कुछ भी बोल देता है. तो व्हाट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ जीरोधा सेड दैट दिस इशू हैपेंड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम ऑन 7th जुलाई, और हमने उसको रिजॉल्व कर लिया और ये दोबारा कभी नहीं हुआ. So immediately I knew that this thing happened on 30th June also. So मैंने जीरोधा का ही उसी समय जीरोधा का बुलेटिन में से ये निकाला कि ये 30th जून को भी होता है, और उसको चेयरमैन के साथ शेयर किया कि प्लीज सी दिस इज अ प्लेन लाई, ये पहले भी हुआ था एंड दिस इज बीइंग रिपीटेड नाउ. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई थिंक दैट वाज द टर्निंग पॉइंट, जब चेयरमैन ने ये नोटिस किया कि विद इन 1 week द सेम थिंग हैज हैपेंड. सो जीरोधा कैन नॉट से दैट दिस वाज बियॉन्ड देयर कंट्रोल. This was something which could be controlled. That's why the same thing was happening on expiry day at almost the same time. So there must be something which is fishy here. So the chairperson asked for a lot of documents. So there must be some documents like, I'll read it out from the minutes. So there's some fault finding some documents. So exact name you can see from the minutes, it's written there. So उससे उन्हें पता चला उस document से कि what was the exact reason for this issue. So Zerodha was working on 4 Mbps line, which is in fact the minimum which exchange is provided to the broker. So on 30th June, which was the first day of Sensex expiry, Zerodha must have thought that minimum वाला ले लेते हैं और इसी से काम चल जाएगा, which did not happen. And then Zerodha requested BSC to increase the bandwidth of their leased line, which could not happen till 7th of the July. तो जनरली कोई भी क्या सोचेगा, एक नॉर्मल पर्सन की अगर मेरे पास वो कैपेसिटी नहीं आ पाई है, मैं उसको हॉल्ट कर देता हूँ ट्रेनिंग को कुछ दिनों के लिए, जब तक इफ माय सिस्टम इज नॉट एबल टू हैंडल इट, बिकॉज थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोर्स ऑफ मनी इज देयर. लोगों ने अपना सारी सेविंग्स लगा रखी है और छोटे छोटे बड़े बड़े हर तरह के ट्रेडर्स बैठे हैं. So unless I increase my capacity, I should give it a halt. But they kept on doing it. They didn't care whether when if they have sufficient bandwidth or not. So the same issue happened on 7th July also. Then बहुत सारे lapses उसमें सामने आए हैं उस report में. आप minutes of meeting, I would request everyone to go through minutes of the meeting in detail. There are a lot of things which can be learned from these minutes.
Minutes of the meeting of the entire BSc GRC is there in a Google Drive. I've shared the link in my earlier tweet, so you guys can open from that this thing. And basically, one thing to note here is that Zerodha tried to say that this first happened on the 7th, but from their own bulletin, it shows that it happened on the 30th. And despite not having the bandwidth, they did not even at least inform their customers saying, guys, last time we had a bandwidth mess up. This time, please refrain from trying to trade Sensex. We are in the process. They put in an application to increase their bandwidth. We are in the process of getting a larger bandwidth. Until it happens, please lay off. No warning, nothing. Despite the issue happening once, I think this reflects a lot of things, not just about Zerodha, but all brokers in our country, where when you know there are no consequences and you can hide behind some document that you've made people sign, like what will happen? Kuch nahi hoga. But yeah, Vijay, please continue.
Okay, so इसमें तो क्या ये डॉक्यूमेंट तो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट कि एवरीबडी शुड रीड दिस डॉक्यूमेंट. और इसमें कुछ जो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं, जो कमेटी की फाइंडिंग्स हैं मेन, उस दिन क्यों प्रॉब्लम हुई थी, वो मैं इसमें आपको पढ़कर बता देता हूँ. व्हाट वाज द कॉज ऑफ इंटरप्शन वाज दैट 4 Mbps की लाइन मैंने आपको बता ही दिया, बैंडविड्थ वो कम थी, और उसी पर ही जीरोधा ने 7th जुलाई को भी ट्रेड करने के लिए अलाउ कर दिया, जिसकी वजह से वो फिर से इनसफिशिएंट हो गई है. देन चेयरमैन ऑफ द कमिटी आस्क्ड द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ जीरोधा कि व्हाट वाज योर बैकअप प्लान इन दीज केसेस. ऐसा हो सकता है कभी भी, तो एक बैकअप प्लान तो रेडी होगा. जीरोधा प्लेनली सेड दैट दे डू नॉट हैव एनी बैकअप प्लान फॉर दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. और अच्छा, मैं बार बार जीरोधा का नाम ले रहा हूँ, सभी ब्रोकर शायद ऐसा करते होंगे. आई डू नॉट हैव एनी पर्सनल एनिमिटी विद जीरोधा. तो क्या उन्होंने बोला कोई बैकअप प्लान नहीं है हमारे पास, ऐसे में ब्रोकर क्या कर सकता है, दे कैन कॉल आवर कस्टमर केयर एंड दे कैन पंच ऑर्डर्स थ्रू आवर कस्टमर केयर नंबर. Then again, I raised the point that again ये मतलब जीरोधा के पॉइंट से ही वहाँ पर GRC मीटिंग में पॉइंट्स निकल कर आ रहे थे. So I actually tried calling customer care and I was on hold for 15 minutes. 15 मिनट तक कोई लाइन पर आया ही नहीं. तो I raised this point in the meeting कि मैडम अगर आपका बैकअप प्लान ये है कि आपके कस्टमर केयर पर कॉल करके हम ऑर्डर पंच कर सकते हैं जब सॉफ्टवेयर ना चले, तो आपके लाखों सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं, हाउ मैनी कस्टमर केयर एग्जीक्यूटिव्स डू यू हैव टू कैटर टू दोज मैनी पीपल? In panic, all those 10 lakh customers which Zerodha have, they will call you. Do you have sufficient capacity to handle those calls? Again, they had no reply to this point. Okay, so BSC ने एक और चीज फाइंड आउट की कि जब आपकी बैंडविड्थ 70% यूटिलाइजेशन हो जाती है, उसके बाद you have to take certain action. I mean, this is a red alert कि 70% यूटिलाइज हो गई है आपकी बैंडविड्थ, आपको कोई करेक्टिव एक्शन लेना है उसके बाद. तो उस पर BSC आस्क्ड जीरोधा कि आपने क्या एक्शन लिया, आपका क्या प्लान है इन केस जब 70% यूटिलाइज हो जाती है. देन अगेन दे सेड वी हैव नो प्लान, वी हैव नो एनी सच प्लान. तो जीरोधा इज मीन कम्प्लीटली क्लूलेस कि अगर कुछ गलत हो जाता है तो उसमें बैकअप प्लान के लिए क्या है, उनका कोई भी ऐसा प्लान नहीं है एक्सीजेंसीज को हैंडल करने का. एंड इसके बाद मतलब उसके बाद इन सब पॉइंट्स के बाद द डिसीजन वाज गिवन इन माय फेवर बाय द GRC. एंड GRC ने जो रेकमेंड किया है, दिस इज आल्सो वेरी गुड पॉइंट व्हिच आई शुड रीड हियर. हाँ, इसमें ये बोला है GRC कमिटी ने, द टोटल टाइम ऑफ टेक्निकल ग्लिच इज मोर देन 45 मिनट्स. 7 जुलाई को 2:43 PM पर ऐसा हुआ था और मार्केट एंड तक वो ठीक नहीं हुआ था. तो इन केस 45 मिनट से ज्यादा होता है तो देयर मस्ट बी सम रूल. दैट्स व्हाई BSC हैज रिटन हियर दैट मेंबर इज रिक्वायर्ड टू सबमिट इंडिपेंडेंट ऑडिटर रिपोर्ट फॉर टेक्निकल ग्लिच एज पर फ्रेमवर्क प्रिस्क्राइब्ड बाय BSC. तो आई थिंक इस पर एक फॉलोअप हम लोगों को लेना पड़ेगा कि वो इंडिपेंडेंट ऑडिटर रिपोर्ट जो है उसके क्या फाइंडिंग्स सामने आए हैं. ये इस मीटिंग में उनको ऐसा ऑर्डर दिया गया था जीरोधा को ये करने के लिए. तो मैं सभी ट्रेडर से मतलब ये जो पूरी स्टोरी मैंने बताई है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई एम वेरी सॉरी, आई एम नॉट इन द हैबिट ऑफ डूइंग दिस स्पेसेस और बोलने की हैबिट में नहीं हूँ. सो आई एम नॉट अ वेरी गुड स्पीकर. सो पता नहीं मैं पूरी स्टोरी आप लोगों के सामने इसको पुट अप कर पाया या नहीं कर पाया अपनी. बट द मेन थिंग इज आई वांट टू मोटिवेट ऑल ऑफ यू that you guys can go and fight it out with Zerodha. अगर आपके 5 या 10,000 या 100 रुपए भी अगर आपके लॉस हुए हैं, अगर आज आप 100 रुपए इनसे नहीं निकलवा पाओगे तो जब आपके 1 करोड़ भी हो जाएंगे तब भी नहीं निकलवा पाओगे. और चाहे ये Zerodha हो या 5 पैसा हो या जो भी जितने भी ब्रोकर्स हों, ये इनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि ये सफिशिएंट फ्रेमवर्क हमें प्रोवाइड करें. हमसे जब ये चार्ज कर रहे हैं और ये हंड्रेड्स ऑफ करोड्स में प्रॉफिट कमा रहे हैं, इवन Zerodha इज अर्निंग इन थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोड्स, दे शुड री इन्वेस्ट दिस प्रॉफिट इन मेकिंग देयर सिस्टम फुल प्रूफ. क्योंकि जो एक छोटे छोटे इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, हम लोगों जैसे 5 लाख 10 लाख रुपए अपनी सारी सेविंग्स इकट्ठा करके यहाँ पर ट्रेड करते हैं, किसी का 5 लाख में से 2 लाख यहाँ ऐसे ग्लिच की वजह से चला गया. So the trading career of that budding trader may be over at that moment. So Zerodha is fighting. Zerodha fought for me, fought for 8,000 rupees. मैंने अभी देखा कि Zerodha की कितना प्रॉफिट 10,000 20,000 करोड़ रुपए कुछ प्रॉफिट किया है. And that company was fighting with a small trader like me for 8,000 rupees. I don't know what kind of mentality comes out from this thing, and they knew that it was their fault, but फिर भी they kept on fighting कि this is not our fault. So I thought that this should come out in front of everybody. I was afraid in sharing minutes of GRC in the beginning, but Shreyas, thank you Shreyas for motivating me to come out so that it help a large number of people out there who have lost their money on 30th June and 7th July. और आप लोगों में से किसी को भी कोई हेल्प चाहिए ये फ्रेम करने में, रिप्लाईज मैंने कैसे बनाए हैं और किन पॉइंट्स पर मैंने रिप्लाई किया है, जो लोग अभी इसको टेकअप करना चाहते हैं, आई वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी कोई ऐसा ग्रुप या कुछ बनाकर जिसमें आई कैन शेयर सम ऑफ द रिप्लाईज जिससे सभी लोग बेनिफिट हो जाए. सभी को पता चल जाए कि किस तरह से उनको रिप्लाई करना है। द पॉइंट इज दैट आपको उनकी कोई बात माननी नहीं है। अगर उनकी कोई बात गलत है और वो फाइनल एक लाइन लिख देते हैं कि दिस इज नॉट मेंटेनेबल, आपको पैसा रिफंड नहीं हो सकता, आपको उससे अग्री नहीं करना है, आपको पोलाइटली बोलना है आई डू नॉट अग्री विद योर पॉइंट एंड दीज आर माई पॉइंट्स एंड आई थिंक दैट यू शुड रीइंबर्स द अमाउंट द लॉस विच आई इनकर्ड ऑन दैट डे। ये कहकर आपको फाइट करते रहना है। अगर जीरोधा की तरफ से ऐसी वो जानबूझकर इस तरह से मतलब ब्रोकर्स राइटिंग लिखते हैं कि दे आर द डिसाइडिंग अथॉरिटी, उन्होंने कह दिया आपकी कंप्लेंट मेंटेन नहीं हो सकती, ये ठीक नहीं है, दे आर नॉट द किंग, वो डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे इसको। आप उनको फिर से रिप्लाई करिए, आप बोलिए मैं अग्री नहीं करता इस बात से और ये मेरे पॉइंट्स हैं और आपको पैसा देना चाहिए, और उसको आप एस्केलेट करते रहिए। अगर एक और पॉइंट मैं बता देता हूँ, अगर जीआरसी मीटिंग में भी डिसीजन मेरे फेवर में नहीं आता तो इसके आगे और भी पॉइंट्स होते हैं, वो आपको बीएससी या एनएससी जो भी केस होगा वो बताते रहेंगे कि दिस इज द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, नाउ दिस इज द नेक्स्ट प्रोसीजर। तो यू शुड कीप ऑन एस्केलेटिंग। और अगर अभी जीरोधा बिल्कुल एडमेंट हो जाता है, और अगर इफ वी आर 4,000 5,000 पीपल, मुझे लगता है लाखों में होंगे जिनका लॉस हुआ होगा, वी कैन फाइट दिस केस इन कोर्ट ऑल्सो। और आई थिंक दैट जीरोधा या कोई भी ब्रोकर ऐसे केसेस में नहीं जीत सकता जहां पर वो डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करता है। दिस इज अ रूल, ये हमारी ये लॉ बुक्स में भी दिया हुआ है कि अगर कोई किसी की सर्विसेज में डेफिशिएंसी है तो उसको पे करना पड़ेगा उस सर्विस प्रोवाइडर को। तो कोई डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ सर्विसेज से बच नहीं सकता है कोर्ट में। इट इज बिकॉज कि हम इंडिविजुअल ट्रेडर हैं, हम कोर्ट में जा नहीं सकते, इतना दूर तक नहीं सोचते, तो हम बैकआउट कर लेते हैं किसी ना किसी पॉइंट पर। तो अगर एक यूनिटी बनाकर सभी ट्रेडर्स एक बड़ी कम्युनिटी बनाकर इकट्ठे हो जाए तो कोई भी ऐसी बड़ी कंपनी हमें बुलडोज करने की कोशिश नहीं करेगी इन पॉइंट्स पर। सो आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड। आई विल हैंड इट ओवर टू श्रेयस नाउ।
Vijay, bro, beautifully put. And I would just like to say one thing. As Vijay said, it's about principle. देखो यहाँ पे ऐसा है, it's not about the money. कल कुछ बड़ा हो जाता है, will you be see the biggest fear any trader that I know has, especially if you're a day trader, so your churn will be high कि कल कुछ ऑपरेशनल रिस्क ना हो जाए एक्सचेंज के वजह से या ब्रोकर के वजह से या किसी और के वजह से, जहां से आई लूज मनी due to not market risk or something that I've done, but due to operational failure of somebody else. In fact, मैंने दो बार I've shared my own thing where Zerodha mein 3 years back, I think I lost 15 lakhs in one day because I was not able to square off position. And recently, जब ये Sensex का हुआ था, they told me it is opportunity loss. And मैं मान भी लिया. I was like, boss, I've signed so many agreements. मैं क्या करूँगा this Sensex what they say most of the time कि ये opportunity loss है. देखो आपको तो प्रॉफिट हुआ था, प्रॉफिट में से कम हुआ, सो वी कांट डू एनीथिंग. एंड टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई डोंट हैव द काइंड ऑफ आई डिडंट हैव द काइंड ऑफ फाइट दैट यू डिड कि मतलब you just kept escalating it and you took it to a point where they had to concede. But I think the broader takeaway here is that we are, if an agreement is against us, मैं कुछ भी लिख दूंगा, I'll say I'll give you some money and then after that you belong to me. ठीक है, that can't be legal. So you can fight the validity of that. So जब भी बोलते हैं कि हाँ, and they'll also try to bargain. By the way, once they know कि हाँ यहाँ पे पैसा भरना पड़ेगा, they will try to bargain कि मैं 20% दे दूंगा, 30% दे दूंगा, 50% दे दूंगा. Don't accept. Don't accept, because that way you are taking a loser's bet. You should fight it out till the end, and if try to get the best possible resolution. So I think very well put. We'll move on to the Q&A. Before we do Q&A, just one thing, there is a response from Zerodha where they have said that one part of the GRC, they you can see the response, it's on my post. I disagree with what this response is saying, where they're saying one part of the GRC we don't agree with. There's a very formal committee. It's headed by a chairperson. वहाँ पे लिखा है कि officials of BSC had informed them that they are breaching bandwidth and yet they have not taken any action leading to client losses. This is the conclusion from the GRC. Please understand the implication. यहाँ पे you can try to say it is not my fault, but if it is not your fault, the GRC committee would not have said that the complainant's argument is valid and that he needs to be compensated. So please understand that one part. Secondly, Zerodha ne bola hai ki wherever we found genuine cases, we have given refund. who are you to find genuine cases is my question. If I'm going to audit myself, मैं तो बोलूँगा मैं ही best हूँ, right? There has to be an external body, and you know, the way there is an investor protection fund, there the volume of derivatives that has gone up, the volume of traders that has gone up, we also need there to be easier, and it doesn't have to be a 2 month long process to get resolution after having hundreds of mail back and forth, and then having one conference call, then having one full hearing type situation. There has to be more protection around investors. And once again, same point of Vijay, we keep talking about zerodha, but it's not about zerodha, be it friars, be it Angel, be it Kotak, or whichever broker. You name a broker, I would have tweeted something of someone where they say, "Boss, I'm not able to place my order." Right? I have tweeted every single broker. See, I have no affiliation with any broker. Never in my life I've had a referral or whatever. I have no broker who is my friend or what. I'm just standing up for my biggest fear that tomorrow may, without making a mistake, will end up taking a big chunk of a hit because of somebody else's mistake. So that is the point of view here. And to people who are saying that this is dedicated line, I see one more post saying that bhai, this is dedicated line, so 4 mbps chalega. If that was the case, why did it overload? So I think this is a failed argument, right? Like if you are the biggest broker and it's mentioned there 4 mbps is the lowest bandwidth that the exchange provides, the highest might be, some are saying it's 60 mbps, some are saying 100 mbps, I don't know. You're the number one broker in the country by customers, you should have the highest bandwidth, otherwise who is that meant for? So anyway, that is that. Thank you so much, Vijay sir. I think you've done a huge, like if people go re-listen to this is recorded. If you have a grievance, please understand what all steps he has taken. Both the documents are there, the minutes of the meeting as well as the high court judgment. Refer that, go through that in detail, so at least we are aware of, okay, what are our options. So we'll move to the Q&A section. Ashish bhai, I think you can
Yeah,
accept
yeah, I'll
yeah.
do that. I just have one thought which came to my mind. I think Zerodha, from Zerodha's perspective, if we look at, they were not willing to pay this amount of 8,000 rupees, not because, the amount is small or the amount is huge. It is penny amount for them, but the very fact that it would set an example as to, if traders incur losses because of some technical glitch at Zerodha, and they can raise this as a concern and get their money back. So I think that
100%.
that
100%.
and
In fact, I'll tell you what, I Vijay sir had a call with me, so I understand his background and I understand his capital. This 8,000 means nothing to him. It is not like it.
yeah,
It is about principle.
right.
कि भाई मेरी गलती नहीं है, मैं क्यों भरूं?
Yeah, I
And
have
for
one
them, it's
question to
about,
Vijay though.
boss, if this guy gets it, then hundreds of people will do the same thing. They'll follow the same process. They'll get their money back, which is exactly why this story had to be highlighted, so that if nothing else, the fact that so many people know that what is the resolution mechanism, they might end up spending a little bit. And once again, I keep saying Zerodha here because this case is Zerodha, but trust me, this is the case with all brokers. And even though this might seem a little out of place, Zerodha relatively, I felt, has better infrastructure than most of the other brokers. And one more argument that people keep saying, bhai, discount broker ke paas kyun ja raha hai? Please understand, you don't know what you're talking about. There is no concept of discount broker and full-time broker anymore. Full-time brokers are cheaper to trade with than most discount brokers. Zerodha is so expensive. I've shared my charges from Zerodha for the last year. It is ridiculously expensive, and the reason I pay it is because as far as my developers are concerned, like the people who I'm close with, like Amit is here and Shiva is there. So these guys tell me that they have the best APIs, they have the least downtime. So it's not a concept of discount broker. Discount broker, not at all. It's the most expensive broker. But we pay that because we're like, okay, I don't want operational risk. Right? So
Right. Right. So I also have one question for Vijay. So Vijay, when you were seeing that loss, I mean, obviously the loss initially would have been very small. You were trying to cover that put option at 3 rupees, but the order was not going through. But since the quantity was decent, and did it not occur to you that you buy the same put from a different broker account that you might have?
Hi. Actually, Ashish ji, I think this is a good idea which I thought about after that day. मेरे पास मतलब एक ही broker के साथ account है.
Right.
So I did not have that option, but I think everybody should consider having an alternate broker जहाँ पर कि ऐसा कोई केस हो जाए तो they have a backup जहाँ पर वो square off अपनी positions कर सकते हैं.
Right. If anybody is trading for fun, then that's a different thing. But if anybody is trading with a serious intent and some serious money, then having multiple brokers should really help in such cases.
No, exactly. This is really a good idea. और उसके बाद even I have signed up with 2 more brokers, so that ऐसा case कभी हो तो I am able to square off my position. But I think yeah, but that obviously, yeah, that cannot be, brokers cannot, I mean, take this as a कि वे आउट उनके पास नहीं है. ये तो ठीक है, हम अपनी सेफ्टी के लिए ऐसा करेंगे. बट ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि जो दूसरा ब्रोकर है जहां से मैं स्क्वेयर ऑफ करना चाहता हूँ उसका सिस्टम भी नहीं चल रहा, एक्सचेंज पर कोई इशू आ गया.
Right.
सो yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so that risk is anyway there. Anyway, I've started accepting a few speakers, so those who have questions they can ask.
Perfect. I just want to come in here, Ashish bhai. One thing, देखो हमें सतर्क रहना है. Okay, please understand, as traders, हमें सतर्क रहना है. We have to do everything in our ability to safeguard our own interests. Agreed. In fact, मैंने ये भी बहुत बार I've also said सेंसेक्स एक्सपायरी एंड मिड कैप एक्सपायरी दोनों बेबी एक्सपायरी है. इसको कम पैसों से ट्रेड करो. एंड इसीलिए सतर्क रहने से ही दैट्स व्हाई विजय सर वाज आल्सो सेइंग दैट he has taken small quantity, but at the same time this cannot in no way absolve a broker na. And if you see what happened with Finvaishya when there were ghost orders and all, आपको वहां पे दिख रहा है कि आपका ऑर्डर ओपन है, आप किसी और के अकाउंट में कवर करोगे, फिर वो बोलेगा नहीं एक्चुअली ये अकाउंट आपको दिख रहा था बट था नहीं आपके ऑर्डर बुक में. तो ये भी हुआ था ना आशीष भाई, वेर यू हैड अ सिचुएशन वेर यू थॉट यू हैड एन ऑर्डर. एंड एक और चीज ना, दिस ऑर्डर लिम्बो में जाना जहां पे वो बोलता है प्रोसेसिंग. दिस हैज हैपेंड विद एवरी ब्रोकर. यू पुट एन ऑर्डर, इट सेज प्रोसेसिंग. आपको अभी नहीं पता है कि वो ऑर्डर जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा.
In that
बाद
case, you
में
can't
यू
even
रिमेम्बर
take the
एट
contra
4 o'clock
trade.
बोल रहा था कि एक्चुअली 358 को ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट हुआ आपका इतने प्राइस पे.
हाँ, और उस केस में आप कॉन्ट्रा ट्रेड भी नहीं ले सकते because you don't know if your order has gone through or not. So if you want to take that contra trade in some other broker to nullify the trade, you are not sure, so you can't do that.
This can backfire also, right? ये जो एग्जांपल अभी श्रेयस जी ने दिया, this can backfire also. वो दोनों में अगर बाइंग का ऑर्डर चला गया हमारा, then yeah, we cannot fight it out also, because then it will be our mistake. So
Yeah. So those who have been promoted to speaker can ask questions. And UC bhai, I might leave in next 5-10 minutes, so you can please
Hello.
moderate the remaining ones.
Yeah. May I go in first if everyone agrees?
Yeah. Go.
So okay, first of all, I mean kudos to Vijay bhai. I mean you set an example for every trader here, right? Like to fight till the end, irrespective of whatever the amount was. So 20th June, right? Probably I was also at the receiving end of the Sensex expiry thing, but I mean I had limited quantities. I tried to. I mean my order didn't go through. I called the customer care. My call didn't go through. But the good thing that I did was I captured all of that. So I had the screenshot. I had the call recordings that the call didn't go through or you're still waiting in the queue. So the same day so this was the first time like the Sensex expiry had a glitch, right, in Zerodha. So I raised a ticket to them. They gave back. I mean those examples, right? That this is the trading guidelines that you have agreed to. And then what I did was I pasted all the screenshots. I pasted all the call recording. I mean snapshot of the call recordings. I told them that see, I have all of this. Now what can you do for me? They didn't reply for a couple of days. Then they came back to me. They gave me a call that we are agreeing to give you a 20% refund. I told them no. I'm not agreeing to that. I know I can file a complaint and scores as well. So probably I can do that. So I pasted them a link that I'm probably going to file a scores complaint on this. Then what happened was nothing happened for a couple of days. I was traveling at that time. I didn't have access to my computer, right? I was on. So they gave me a call again. They said that we are agreeing to a 40% refund now if you can agree. The amount was very less. I think it was around 12K or 13K for me. Then eventually what they did was they said that don't do anything. I had posted everything on Twitter as well. Vishal Mehta had retweeted that as well, that Now they came back to me and they said that now we are agreeing to a 50% refund if you are okay with that. So I said that, I mean, to be honest, I mean, this is where I said that let's bargain for this, which probably I shouldn't have done that at that point. But look, I'm listening to this story, right? So I agreed on the 50% refund, and they gave me a 50% refund at that point of time for that. Now coming to the point that I mean, you can have a different broker, right? Probably Sensex is something that not everyone was supporting at that time, right? Only few broker. I mean, probably Zerodha was the first one who had agreed to start on Sensex expiry, right? So I tried to. I mean, I had a Upstocks account, but I think it wasn't supported at that time to cover the order at the different broker. So that's my story. I think. Zerodha, did give me 50% refund. I have all the screenshots and I have all the ticket. I mean, the ticket that I raised on the support portal, and that I tweeted this, and so that others can also go back to Zerodha and ask for the refunds. But I'm not sure like how many did. But I mean, kudos to Vijay sir for this.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience. And yeah, I think these are the examples and all the points that these guys make. That's what you have to keep in mind whenever you're putting forward your case. But if you're done, sir, we can move to the next speaker.
Sure, thanks. Yeah.
Hello everyone. So, sir, means I also face same problem, sir. Means not same, same kind of thing. So there is thing called intraday margin shortfall. So I am using Kotak Securities for a very long time, around one or half years. So what happened is that, sir, I have placed Iron Condor, and I have also placed SLs for the hedges. Okay, so what happened is that my hedges got exited accidentally, and I didn't know about that. And my margin shortfall was my capital is around 6-7 lakh, and my margin shortfall was 10 or 12 lakh kind of thing. So what happened is that, sir, initially they didn't square off my position. If I do same thing in Zerodha or something like that, they will square off your position and uh, charge you hefty amount of call by order or something like that. So same thing happened with me, sir, with Kotak Securities, that my thing means it traded till the end, means my position stayed till the end, and then after 15 days they have charged me intraday margin shortfall kind of thing, and it's around, sir, 30k, 30k, and it was means 5% of my capital. Same thing happened with me, 5% of my capital. So what I did that, the digital blogger, at that time he has means I was following him, so he has posted a video on that. SEBI has done this thing that there is no intraday shortfall margin. So I have written a letter and attached, written a email to them and attach that SEBI's thing, circular kind of thing. And I have said that, but I got, sir, very cold reply from them, that yeah, sir, we will let to know, or we will check. We have to means do meeting with our staff and all the stuff, kind of thing. Then I have posted same email on the Twitter, and in within, sir, 12 hours I got call from product manager or something like that at higher position. So he was saying that, sir, please, can you please delete that tweet, we will refund you all money, there will be no issue regarding that. And sir, they have means, and I have posted you also and many traders out there. So I have deleted my main post, but there was other post was visible on their timeline, so they have specifically put one person for that, and they have called me after one day that, sir, these posts are remaining, please delete that, sir. Means I think, sir, this is quite gray area and shady kind of business most of the brokers
Bro,
are
I'll tell
doing.
you something actually amazing point that you bring up, margin shortfall. Peak margin penalty was something that all brokers were charging from their customers. But then a clarification came out that no, you should not be charging, you please pay it back. This rule came, and I thought, Zerodha being transparent, they will transfer my money back. What is there? 8 or 9 months, I didn't do anything. Then one day I remembered, dude, like, have they given me back? Because once in a while, peak margin, it goes negative, they charge penalty. I
Yes,
raised a
sir.
ticket saying, please give me all the entries of where you on my ledger where you have charged me peak margin penalty, and let me know if you have refunded it to me, because there was a clear instruction that if you have charged, give it back to your customer. These brokers are so smart. Even Zerodha, 9 months, I think it was 9 months after the order came that I said, show me the ledger statement. They said, sir, we have not processed your refund. We are doing it now. We will keep you updated. So the idea is simple. If you don't notice, it doesn't matter how much holier than thou someone is appearing to be. I will share that ticket, by the way, where I raised it. I was like, why was it not refunded? They had nothing to say. They just said, we are now processing to give it back to you. And I got it back in the ledger statement. If you don't fight for your money, if you don't audit your accounts, if you don't check if they can take your money, they'll take your money. And all of this comes down to the fact that the regulatory framework around it, one, because SEBI doesn't have that many hands, but given how much money the government and these people make from this industry, that same way how RBI regulates banks, there has to be a higher standard set for brokers. Same thing happened with FinVisha, and I was very angry with a lot of people because I had shared a lot of what they said, but they all struck a deal saying that, okay, we'll delete all the posts. Okay, so if you have retweeted someone or something, we'll delete all the posts, we'll get our, okay, I'm happy. They got their money back. But the fact is, you have this visibility that was there, which was holding people accountable. You have removed that. So yeah, peak margin penalty, finally every broker, in case you had also like me assumed that broker ne paisa वापस दे दिया होगा, with your respective brokers, please raise tickets and ask मेरे को margin ledger का date के साथ दीजिए कि first of all, where had you collected, how much had you collected, and when was it returned to my account? If it's not returned to my account, return it now, because unless you ask, they will not give it. That you take in guarantee.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, next speaker we can take, bro.
Yeah, can I go ahead? Anirban here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, hi, Shreyas, hi, Ashish. So, yeah, this peak margin penalty and all this refund, I also got back from Zerodha. I have been with Zerodha from 2013. I have faced this GRC and all this stuff. And even if your problem doesn't get solved in GRC, the next step is to go for arbitration. And the exchange will provide the lawyer for you if you don't have the capacity or if you don't have reach to the lawyers. So my question in this case, what I felt that all these things get settled by amicable solutions. What happened? All this meeting, exchanges of documents, then broker ask, okay, you please give us a acknowledgement that you are withdrawing your complaint, and we will have a amicable solution. And as a goodwill of gesture, we are refunding you the money. I got refund from zero than 5 paisa also. So I would like to know in this case of Mr. Vijay, so who has refunded the money? Is it the GRC panel has directed or is it an amicable solution? Number one. Number two, if it is directed by GRC panel, it can be referenced by other traders also in future in case of any technical glitch happens. So it will not be a 1 month delayed process and you keep exchanging the documents and persuade the broker that you refund. So if we can share the GRC number, so it will be helpful for others. Thank you.
Vijay sir, I think that's directed at you.
Uh, okay, yes. Sorry, I was speaking, so but my mic was off. So it was not an amicable solution. It was on the directions of GRC that that Zerodha refunded the amount to me. And I'm sorry, what was your second question? I am not very clear with that question. Can you repeat the second one?
No, no, I was exactly saying that. Can you please share the GST numbers so that in future anybody having technical glitches, irrespective of the amount, 8,000 or whatever the amount, it would be helpful. So anybody can show this as a proof that see in this matter you have refunded it. So I think that would be helpful to others.
Okay, I'll think about that of sharing the GRC number because I have to think on this point whether I'm comfortable in sharing the details of the
The
account
thing is,
on
his
from which.
personal details are there.
Yeah.
Also, see, in the document I've shared, we blacked out his personal details because a lot of his personal details are in
No,
that,
no,
right? But you will find the same document, and if you were to show it in your argument as well, you can use that document. So this thing, and the other way to get it, what I find out, you can even put an RTI and get the full document or whatever. But the reason he's apprehensive is
No, no.
his name is there. But as
Sorry
yeah,
to interrupt. I'm not asking for the document. Like when you lodge a complaint in scores, you get a SEBI slash that number. So there would be a GST number, resolution number also. Anybody can reference that number, that giving that in past this incident happened of technical glitches and user got refund. He did not to mention any name, anything, just the number, so that people can just
Case number.
put it. Yeah, that's.
the complaint number on scores, is it?
I don't think so. The GST document there would be a number. I also have a GS. I also see, as you told this peak margin, I also went to for peak margin. I got the refund. There is a 50-50 rule, you know, right? But this 50-50
Yeah.
margin rule is applicable to broker, but they just pass it to client. Okay. There is no, but nowhere regulator mentioned that this 50-50 rule can be passed to client, but still broker pass it. So I fought it in one scenario. So I got a GST document. There would be a number. So that number it can be shared if it is okay with Mr. Vijay. Then I think it would be helpful to a lot of people. Because this technical glitches is not to zero the. It has to be a standard, right? Standardized.
For all, agreed. I think we'll give Vijay just to find that and see if it like reveals anything of his. If not, I'm sure he'll be happy to share.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
I'll
Because
I'll think about it. I'll give it a thought. Yeah.
yeah, because anybody want to fight with any broker, any case, any technical glitches, it will be helpful. Thank you for that question. Thanks.
Can I?
Hello.
Hello.
Can I go next?
Yes, bro,
Hello.
please go.
Okay. So probably in the inception there was no sound. Maybe these points are already covered. But I just wanted to check a few things. Like, is there a time limit as to, let's say, issue you faced, let's say today? Then is there a definitive timeline that within this much amount of time you should raise the ticket with SEBI, that is scores, not with Zero the broker, but whichever broker it is. But with scores, is there a definitive time limit within which we need to raise a complaint?
I don't think there is a time limit. I did not find it anywhere. You can simply go and file your complaint, and if there is any time limit, they'll point it out. But I don't think there is any. So don't
Okay.
worry about that. Just put up your case for listening there.
Okay. And about the proof, so are the screenshots enough, or is there anything in particular which we should take care of in terms of being more informative, so that apart from screenshots, is there anything else that
No,
could be?
screenshots should be sufficient. Screenshot
Okay.
should be sufficient. Your order book, you should have screenshot of your order book, in which it can be proved that you tried placing order. I think that is sufficient.
Okay.
Although I personally recorded a video also, but there was no use for that video. I thought if somebody would request me to show a video proof, then I would show it. But उसका कहीं भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ी उसे दिखाने की. स्क्रीनशॉट्स से ही हर जगह काम चल गया था.
Okay. And then maybe one last question, probably it is to this forum, it is relevant. At that time when this issue occurred, there are people who are justifying, or there are spaces happening which said that Zerodha, although it was it was its mistake, but ideally, the traders were justifying it that they should not be giving back the money. Otherwise, it is a risk of doing business and blah blah blah. So basically, right now, I think if this is the case wherein they are returning the money, it will set a precedent, like everybody now needs to get back their money, whosoever is going to apply for it. So do you, it is probably to, those who have been in this industry for long, do you foresee industry wide changes like increase in brokerages because of such risks? Or what could be the, as a broker, even I can see now that, right, I may need to, because of this technical glitches, I may need to pay back, and then they provision it and increase the brokerages or something of that sort. So this is probably not to you, Vijay. But overall, anybody in this forum have that idea?
See, market, the broking industry is super competitive. It is hyper competitive. So it will reach a state of having multiple top layer competitors. So if you decide to go with price hike and all, there are people who are fighting on price right now, which you're seeing even large scale brokers are saying we'll do intraday free. So whether that happens or not is pretty doubtful. In terms of other traders who are defending or whatnot, now I come back to one point. Whenever there are changes that happen, this could be from when peak margin rule came. This could be about extended hours. This could be about so on and so forth. What happens on some spaces? The way I see it, it's skin in the game, bro. Like it comes down to skin in the game. It depends on how much if it affects you. I have nightmares about not being able to square off my position. Okay, so it depends on how much if it affects you. If you're somebody like I've noticed a lot of people who do this are like people who just want to sell their product or service or algo, and it makes no difference to them what actually happens in the market. There's just a customer base for them, so they'll just be like, "Ha, aisa hi chalta hai," whatever. For them it doesn't matter. Skin in the game is not there, so their skin is elsewhere. It's in products related to the market. तो उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जिनको फर्क पड़ता है, they will never ever. That's why one thing is good, that lately social media is helping community come together and raise their voice, and at least because of that some resolution is happening. I'm not saying in making big difference, but I'm sure social media makes a difference, especially in today's day and age. Will prices go up? Whatever. I mean, hard to say, dude. It's too competitive. And if somebody does a steep price rise, people will move elsewhere, because more or less broking at some point will become is a commoditized industry. There's no difference between broker to broker, except for the fact that reputation and trust takes a long time to build. Transparency, the things that because it's huge money that you're keeping with them. If they wipe it off your ledger, you might not even be able to check at times. So that being the case, yeah, I don't see that happening. That's just my opinion. Anyone else can share their opinion on that?
Yes,
Hi, sir. Hi, Shreyas. Thank you, Shreyas, for actually raising awareness about this issue, and kudos to Vijay for fighting it out. It is not easy. A lot of people give up. So I just want to like add so initially Vijay fight out like it took 2 3 weeks in mails. That is completely unnecessary. Once you send a mail and they say that okay, no, we are not going to give you refund, we don't agree, you just said okay, no, I disagree, I'm going to raise the complaint, and you could go and raise the complaint. And the process, there is actually process. The first you need to complain, then after 3 days you escalation. Every broker has an escalation email, and then if they don't respond, you go and complain to the exchange. If exchange does not solve you, then you go and scores. So but actually if you want to do it, you simply in the first, if you see there is a money loss has happened, some issue has happened, go simply to the support, create the ticket, and then if there is any mail communication, you attach the escalation. There is a escalation matrix just for the on the record that you have added. There is a compliance officer for each broker, so you have to add that also, and then wait for 2 3 days. Some people, they don't even wait, but if you want, you wait for 2 3 days. You, if you see that they are not ready, do not debate with them. That is of no issue. They will drag it down. They will tell you everything. That is not going to get you any result. If you see they're not solving within 3 days, you go and register a complaint in NSE. You can register with NSE. Most likely NSE will solve you, and then you can go and do scores if NSE is not able to do it. So in, I think, BSE, they don't have a portal. That's why he directly went to scores, and scores anyways. But with scores, basically now SEBI is also tracking the number, and the process is similar. Like for my Finvesia issue, I had complained to NSE. NSE did the same thing. They denied. Then NSE, the first conf call itself, there was a settlement. So and the NSE guy, the representative, told me also that the next is GRC. And the problem here is many people, like including me, in the past I have faced issues, and I have not bothered because the money is less, and it's just too much headache, and sometimes people's time is more valuable. But and for a very quite long time, all these brokers, they've hidden behind this IBT guidelines. We are not responsible. There is this misinformation. That's why a lot of people are saying, bro, traders are defending this. This is a misinformation campaign by all the brokers that they're not responsible for the issue, and this has been going on. I mean, I also thought, like, I have been trading for a quite long time, so I also thought like maybe there's nothing we can do. But recently we had this Finvacia, a lot of people got payout, and there are other issues. You have to fight. There is a 90% chance that you can get payout. It also depends how long you can fight, and all you have to do, follow the process, and there is a huge chance. This guidelines issue, and another point I will add, this IBT guidelines technical issue, we are not responsible. This was a very old legacy point. This came when NSE from there was this when the internet came, internet for the first time. Before that, physical trading was there. So when the transition happened, everybody was obviously on the fence, like internet, what will happen, who is going to be responsible. So that's why this clause was added. Ki, internet, some issue happened, there is no, we are not responsible. Then you sign it, and then everybody was happy, and then we will let you open the internet account. This is a very very old legacy point. The way I will determine right now is basically it is to protect for, let's say you are trading with a broker and your internet has some issue, and then you complain, oh, I cannot trade, oh, broker give me. Obviously that is not an issue. But if broker infrastructure has a problem, your internet, your system, everything is fine, then of course broker has to compensate. This has been, it's a suppressing, they have kept suppressing for a very very long time. The cat is now out of the bag. We have seen that this is, a lot of people are now complaining, getting their funds back. We need to raise more awareness. You need to follow the process. Don't waste your time with this. After 3 days, just raise either with scores or NSE platform, and
Perfect,
then
perfect, bro. We're
follow
going to
the
loop and it's going on for
yeah,
too long.
sure.
Thank you so much for those
Thanks.
points. We'll do two more questions and then it'll be too late for people. So, guys, two more questions and then we'll call it. This space is recorded, so in case somebody has missed out, it'll always be there as a reference. Yeah,
Hi, can I speak?
yeah, bro. Go on, please.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a very wonderful space, and thank you, Bandy bro, and thank you, Vijay sir. I think you have done a very good job on breaking this issue. So one thing, yeah, I'm glad to know this is recorded. And second thing, I'm trying to contact you because one of the editor in from Money Control, he's asking your contact regarding all these risks. He wrote 3 articles regarding the risk in the free trades and everything. So I think he's also listening to the space, and I have like quoted in your tweet. I think even I asked Gaurav
Is it
also.
Mr. Santosh Nair by chance?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, yeah. Ashish bhai sent me his number. I'll drop him a message. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And one thing is that, see, I personally didn't have any much issues. I just want to share one thing. See, there are so many risks, right? Like broker level risk, market level risk, and exchange level risk, and all this stuff. So one thing is that when we are trading with huge capital, maybe more than 1 crore, 5 crores of rupees, we just want to protect against these risks. Okay, these risks are like very, like, what do you say, we can't protect, some way or the other it is happening. So I just want to know that just like in US or something, there are, like, there are insurance policies regarding these kind of risks. So I just want to know, is there anyone developing these kind of policies? Because since our market is evolving day by day, I don't know, everyone knows this fact or something. The everyday volume in cash, equity, and everything of India is equal to 70% of GDP of the whole year. Okay. So the amount is huge. And I just want to know, is anyone working on this kind of insurance premium or something so
Bro,
that
so
big people
I'll just
can do
get to
one
the
thing?
chase here. As far as I know, no, there are no such products available
Yeah,
in India.
I
Secondly,
wish someone works on it. Yeah.
yeah. Secondly, this as far as the risk, right? Now I'll put it this way to you. Many people don't like it, but I'll put it this way to you. As far as F&O goes, right? As far as F&O goes, we've seen everything. We've seen broker level risk, when we've seen exchange level risk. We have seen all kinds of things pan out. We have seen flash crashes. We have seen random orders. We have seen freak orders. Take this from me. At the end of the day, if you have money in your F&O account, be prepared for losses, even if you're fully hedged, even you're this thing, situations that might be out of your control. So uh, do not put too much of your net worth into F&O trading. That's the only way. Finally, it comes down, and I've been saying this. Look, at your trader level, you need to beat broker risk or beat all these risks. You need to hedge yourself, and one of the ways of doing it is, if you know that you're generating decent returns in F&O, doesn't mean you can sell your house and bet it all in F&O. Okay, you need to have money elsewhere, even if it is giving you less return in other things. A lot of traders who generate massive returns, I know, have massive amount of FDs, have massive amount of bonds which they've kept out of their F&O, not for pledging the bonds and this thing. They pull out money actively and invest. See, F&O is not hyper scalable as people like to think, especially if you're more into trading shorter time frames, right? So you have to understand that over a period of time, only the money that you take out of your account you can consider profit, as long as it's sitting in that account, right? It's just virtual money. It's like game. It's like, okay, you've generated 100% return, but that doesn't mean so finally it comes down to, you have to hedge at an individual level and be like, boss, I'm going to put 20%, 15%, 10%, whatever that number is for you, in my F&O account, and not like a large chunk of my net worth, like 50%, 60% of my net worth is in F&O, and like all your investments are in the same place. You've pledged all your investments and you're trading on top of that. That is very risky, because operational risk is a real thing. And the thing is, no, F&O has been gamified. People trade intraday like a game now, okay? And sometimes in that process, you completely forget what you're doing. And
Yes.
there is always that broader level risk. And no, there are no products that I know of that will ensure against operational failure of exchange or broker.
Yeah, I
So
wish someone works on it, because yeah, even a 1 crore capital, these kind of risks can happen. And as you said, 100% of our money can go in a single day or in a matter of 1 week or something. It can go. So we just want to protect ourselves from these kind of risks, because the volume is too high. And I wish someone is working on it.
people don't want to pay for hedge, bro, and you're talking about buying insurance. So if they were
Yeah,
taken
that's
for
true.
it,
That's
the
true.
product would come. But yeah, as of now, it's not. But cool. That's a good question that you put across, and I think we'll do one more question, and we'll call it after that.
I may I?
Yeah, please go on.
I just want to ask one thing. Didn't GRC penalize anything for lack in service apart from the thing that Zerodha refunded 8,000 back?
It would not be on the GRC to penalize, as far as I'm aware. It would be on the regulator SEBI to put a penalty, if at all. And you know, one would hope that at least fear of being penalized or something would get brokers, not just Zerodha, but in general, brokers to be more accountable for their actions. But as of now, there has been no penalty for any of these. There was a penalty on NSC when they had a glitch where they shut down and they restarted in the middle of the evening around 5 o'clock. So there was a penalty levied on NSC for that. But on brokers, I'm not aware. If somebody else is aware, they can pitch in.
So you mean to say it was under GRC's jurisdiction?
Under the GRC, there is no penalty that is mentioned, or no penalty was there.
Okay,
No,
fine.
there was no penalty by GRC. They just gave the decision that you have to pay back that money, no penalty.
I was taking it like consumer forums modus operandi, where they put a penalty on for lack in service or whatever the case may be. Okay, fine. I'm done.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, everybody who joined in. Thank you so much, Vijay sir, for taking the time to do this. Um, and I think the takeaway from this should be that, guys, we have to fight for whatever we want. Like you have to like have the patience to go to the extreme. And the best part about this is this sets a precedence, so that all the things that were discovered by Vijay, like searching on Google, finding high court judgment, finding conclusion of that, presenting that, so on and so forth, other people don't have to do, and they can use this precedence. So thank you so much for participating, and thank you for everyone who asked questions, put forward their opinions. I really appreciate it. And that's about it from me. Vijay sir, any last words from you?
No, just I want to thank you, Shreyas, for organizing this and for creating awareness among the trading community. And the closing words would be, I would request all the traders to fight out for your money. It is your money and nobody can take it from you forcefully. So even if it is a penny, you should go and fight it out so that the brokers know that they cannot do this thing in future. The traders are now more aware of things. So yeah, with that, that's all from my side. I think we can
Perfect.
close. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. We'll catch up some other time. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye.
On a lighter note, I would like to say one thing. This will be included in Varsity's next chapter.
No, actually, on a concluding note, I would also like to say, even though this case was completely about Zerodha, but this is about the broader broker ecosystem. This is about broader accountability for all. I don't want it to seem like, oh, Zerodha is the worst over here. In fact, that is, in my opinion, far from the case. It's just that overall, at broker level, there needs to be more accountability. There has to be more responsible behavior. Right, you will not find a single broker who is scot free. It's impossible. On Twitter alone, you will find for every single broker there is some or the other person who would have had an issue. So it's more about a broker level thing. So perfect. All right, guys, you guys have a great evening. I'm ending this. Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.